Yesterday, Nintendo announced that they will be holding a Direct on the 12th of April, which is this Wednesday. I will leave a link to a video where it's got all of the times for North America and Europe, but flipping heck, Wednesday is shaping up to be a flipping massive day for me, just because my football team that I support, Leicester City, are playing in the biggest game in their history against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. That is the quarter-final of the Champions League, and pretty much an hour after when that game ends, the Direct will be going live. So seriously, my word, it's going to be a flipping massive day for me. Really, I'm looking forward to both, although I am really nervous about the Atletico Madrid game. I am going to the home game. I've been to every single home game, or every single home Champions League game this season, just because I don't think I will be able to go to many other Leicester City Champions League games in my lifetime. But let's just get on with my Nintendo Direct predictions. Before I do that, actually, I'm not sure how much coverage I will be able to do for this Direct, just because it will be happening 11 PM UK time, so I will be going bed pretty much as soon as the Direct ends. So I won't be able to upload any gameplay, any trailers from the Direct, any of that sort of stuff, and I won't be able to do that in the morning just because I do have a hospital appointment dead early in the morning, and I've got to wake up really early for that, just because the Queen is visiting my city and it's just going to cause havoc for traffic and all that nonsense. So not sure how much coverage I will be able to do. I will be pretty late by my standards, but let's just get on with my predictions. So Nintendo said that this Direct will be focusing on Switch and 3DS games, but they said that the main focus will be on ARMS and Splatoon 2, and that is pretty much where most of my predictions will be based on. Most of my predictions will be based on ARMS and Splatoon 2, but I just want to get into like the general stuff before I do get into ARMS and Splatoon 2. So 3DS content, I'm not really expecting that much. I think we will see more on Ever Oasis, which got announced at last E3. I think we will see more on that Pikmin game that got announced in the September 3DS conference last year. So I think we will see more on that. I think we will see Fire Emblem Echoes, just because I do believe it does come out next month. So they'll be daft not to show that off. I know they did release a trailer yesterday for Fire Emblem Echoes. I think we will probably just see that trailer and a little bit more details about Fire Emblem Echoes. I think there will be a surprise 3DS game that gets announced. I think we will get a surprise announcement in there, and I think it will be another Wii U port. So previously Super Mario Maker and Yoshi's Woolly World got ported over to the 3DS, and my prediction is that Kirby's Rainbow Curse will be ported over to the 3DS, just because it makes sense, just because Canvas Curse appeared on the DS, and Rainbow Curse, you know, used the touchscreen on the gamepad. It just makes sense to port that game over to the 3DS, so I think that will be the big surprise announcement from this Nintendo Direct. It's pretty bold, pretty out there, but I think it makes sense, just like what I said before. You know, you got the touchscreen gameplay, which didn't really make sense for the Wii U. I know you got the Wii U gamepad touchscreen, but it meant that you didn't really look at the TV screen that much. It makes sense for a handheld like the 3DS, where you got two screens. So with Canvas Curse appearing on the DS, I think they will port Rainbow Curse, or Rainbow Paintbrush as it's known in Europe. That is a stupid name. Why can't they just call it Rainbow's Curse? I don't get why they had to change the name for the European market. But yeah, I think Rainbow's Curse will be ported to the 3DS. Now, Switch games, I don't think that many games will get announced. I don't think we will see many announcements, like many new games get announced, if any. I think we will see Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in this Direct, just because obviously the game comes out on the 28th of April. Not sure if that is a worldwide release date. I know that is when it does come out in Europe. I probably still won't pick up the game, but I think in this Direct they will cover everything new in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So all of the battle modes, all of the characters, all of the new features like that. Guidance mode where it will keep you on the track. They will probably go into details like the pink sparks as well. So definitely am expecting Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I think they will show Fire Emblem Warriors as well, just because we didn't really see that much of Fire Emblem Warriors in the Fire Emblem Direct. When was it? That was in January, that was, wasn't it? So I think we will see maybe a short gameplay trailer this time of Fire Emblem Warriors, and I think we'll get a autumn or fall release date for Fire Emblem Warriors. But I think I'm gonna leave my big 2 possible announcements for the end, so I'm just gonna go into ARMS and Splatoon 2. So ARMS, I think we'll get to see a load more playable characters. I think we will see maybe 3 or 4 more playable characters. I think we will see some more stages as well, and I think we'll see our first look at the single player game mode as well. I think they will go in depth. I have my ideas on what that single player game mode could be, but I'm not going to go into that in this video, just because I will go into that in a video which I will upload either today or tomorrow. So I think we will see more details on the playable characters. I think we'll get to see more playable characters, more stages, and more details about the game modes in ARMS. We know that ARMS will have some game modes in there, so I think we will see obviously the straight up standard game mode, which we have seen before, but I think we will also see all of the other game modes in there as well. And I think ARMS will get amiibo support, and I think ARMS will get an amiibo range as well. I did go into that in a separate video, which again I will upload either today or tomorrow. I think we'll definitely get a ARMS release date as well, and I think ARMS will come out in June, just because I think May is I think that is a little bit too soon for ARMS, just because you got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe coming out at the end of April, and also you got Ultra Street Fighter 2 coming out at the end of May. So I think releasing ARMS a brand new IP in between those 2 mammoth games, I think that would be quite daft to do that. So I think ARMS will come out at the start of June before E3 2017. So that's just my predictions for ARMS. Let's move on to Splatoon 2. I think we will get our first look at the single player. I think we will get to know what the hell's happening with Calais. Has Calais been kidnapped? Will you play as Marie? That is what I did suggest in my last video. Will you be able to play as Calais or Marie in the single player? I think we will find that sort of stuff out in this direct. I think a new game mode for the multiplayer will be announced as well. I think it probably will just be Splat Zones returning, and that's probably it in terms of a new game mode. I think we will get to see a new special weapon in there as well. I think a new special weapon will get announced, as well as the reveal of a brand new weapon as well. Maybe it will be the return of the Splatlings and the Slosher type weapons, although they have been revealed on the Tumblr page for Splatoon 2 already, and maybe they won't really cover that in this direct. Maybe they will announce a brand new weapon type. I can't really think of any other ideas for brand new weapon types. I think they pretty much have covered all of the bases for that sort of stuff, but I definitely think we will get to see some brand new weapons in this direct. I think we will get a better look at the local multiplayer options in Splatoon 2 as well, and also I think we will get our first online details for the Switch, and they will basically tie into Splatoon 2. So I think they will explain what the app does, and hopefully they will go into depth about whether you can do that sort of stuff on the system itself. But I think they will completely blow out the online service in this direct. Also, I think we'll get our first gameplay look at the 2 new stages that they have revealed. So they revealed the Humpback Pump track, so I think we'll get to see gameplay of that, as well as the concert stage as well. I think it's called Starfish. I can't remember the full name of that, but I think we'll get our first look at that. I think Marais Towers will get officially revealed. We did see that in the reveal trailer for Splatoon 2, and I think they will say, yeah, we will bring back more stages, but they will have different elements to those new stages. It's like Murray Towers had the ink rails from the campaign in Splatoon Wii U, so I think they will talk about that sort of stuff in this direct. Now, some of the possible things that they might go into, which I'm not sure about, I'm not really definite about. I think they could talk about playable Octolings, if that is a thing. And also I think they might talk about Splatfest as well. I did talk about playable Octolings and my ideas for Splatfest on my channel. I will leave a link to the series playlist for Splatoon 2 where I discuss my ideas for Splatoon 2. I talk about the local multiplayer options, I talk about Splatfest, I talk about Calais Marie potentially being playable. So make sure you're checking out that series playlist, especially before the direct goes live on Wednesday. Now, my last prediction for Splatoon 2 is that we will get a release date for the game, and I think it will be in the last week of July. Don't have a specific date in mind, but I think it will be the last Friday in July, and that is just when I think they will release it. I don't think they will release Splatoon 2 any earlier than that. Hopefully they do release Splatoon 2 earlier than that, just because I'd love to play Splatoon 2 as soon as possible. And actually, going back to ARMS, my last prediction for ARMS is that we will get a demo for ARMS, and I did talk about that in a separate video as well last week. I think they will say, yeah, ARMS will be getting a demo and you can play it next Saturday, and it works similar to the global test fire for Splatoon 2, so it will be up at certain times. You can play against people all over the world as well, basically on that one stage that we did see in the January presentation. So that is my last prediction for ARMS and Splatoon 2. I think there could be a big Switch announcement in there. I'm not really expecting it, just because you got E3 happening like 2 months. Like, it's only 2 months away. But Sega and Platinum Games have put a timer on a Bayonetta related announcement, and actually it will end by the time this video will be hitting your sub box, and by the time you are watching this video you probably are aware of what that Bayonetta announcement is. So I think that there is a good chance that that announcement will be covered in the direct on Wednesday. So I think that Bayonetta announcement will be a possible inclusion in Wednesday's direct. And this is my last bold prediction. Pokemon games normally get announced before E3. It's like Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire got announced in March-April time. The same with Pokemon Sun and Moon. If Pokemon Stars is real and if it will come out this year, then I think we will get a Pokemon Stars teaser, or I think we will get a Pokemon Stars announcement not tomorrow, on Wednesday, just because that is what like Pokemon normally does. I know it would be better to do that sort of thing at E3, but Pokemon normally announce their games in April time and then they go more in depth, like show off a trailer for that game at E3. So I think if Pokemon Stars is coming out this year for the Switch and 3DS, then I think we will see that announcement in this direct. That is my last bold announcement. I'm not really expecting it, but yeah, I think if Pokemon Stars is real and if it will come out this year, then I think Pokemon will announce it in this direct. So I'm not expecting everything that I did predict in this video to turn out to be true. I did, come up with some bold announcements in there, but yeah, I think I definitely am expecting quite a lot of this stuff to happen. But then again, like I said, I always go into directs expecting the least amount of information as possible, so that means I won't get disappointed afterwards. So that is just my main advice for you. Don't go expecting brand new Metroid or Smash 4 port getting announced, because that is like sort of an E3 sort of announcement. I know I said Pokemon Stars could get announced in Wednesday's Direct, but I just basically went off what Pokemon have done previously with their previous games in previous years. But I'm not really expecting any of that sort of stuff to happen. So always expect the least, and that means you probably will come out, you know, pleased. Like, don't go expecting everything just because E3 is happening in a couple of months' time. Of course, Nintendo will be saving announcements for E3 time. It's like Fire Emblem Warriors, maybe they will save that for E3. So, yeah, that's just it for this video. Let me know your thoughts, or let me know your predictions for Wednesday's Direct in the comment section below. But until next time, I'm out of here for now. Goodbye.